set to take fall off corner.
16.5 minutes gone. In comes that corner. Deep from Blakeman again. Ellis is the target. Not clear just yet. Second time asking. Darlington do get a head onto it. Still goalless here. Still in the area. Headed backwards this time from Mark Ellis. But he just can't get on the end of it properly. And Steve Watson there, James, you can see him inside his technical area. He doesn't look happy.
He'll be annoyed how the team of Letchell really dominates midfield. A lot of set pieces of Adam Blake throw-ins and corners. That's what Ellis more closely in the depths. He's causing them real danger.
Supporter just behind us. James is complaining that Jamieson is taking too long to take this goal kick. As it is, he now takes it. Rutledge up against Nolan, beats Nolan to it. Cedric Main trying to do one over Ellis, can't do it. Lalkovic picks it up under pressure. Blakeman down the line, he goes towards Ibbotson. And Ibbotson, if he can get to it, he's done well actually in the end. Ibbotson, rather than go out for a goal kick, he's saved it at the expense of a throw. I think the referee's just blown for something, or did he not manage to keep it in?
Yeah, he went up for a goal kick, I think.
The fourth official as well needs to get involved here because the Chorley players are not happy with how long Jamieson is taking with these goal kicks, James. Again, long from Jamieson, headed by Ellis, same result. Tom Carr's pushed and referee's in the way there. Taylor O'Kane tries to take over. Finds Lalkovic down the left-hand side, a bit of room to run into. Blakeman's offering there behind him. Takes a touch, goes back to Lalkovic again. Tries to pick out Ibbotson, who's in the penalty area, headed away. And Headley. Let's go for it again. Long ball towards Cedric Main. And Darlington give the ball away again. Steve Watson at the minute, James, doesn't look happy with how his team are performing.
One aerial ball, so we're not going to be able to bring it down and create much. So far. Jameson again just taking his time with the ball on his own box.
Peterborough Sports 1, Chester 0 at Pims Park. Phil Brown and his silky white trousers currently getting the better of Callum McIntyre's side. Also, Macclesfield have equalised against Worksop Town. The only goals to report at the moment in National League North. In the Premier League, still just a one goal for Manchester City in the Premier League at the minute. Still goalless here, 20 minutes gone. Wilson under pressure, Scott that is, from Cedric Main, and then Milan Lalkovic will take it away from Headley. There's an argument there that should have been an advantage played for Milan and possibly a yellow card for Headley. What was your view on that, James?
Yeah, it was a bit dangerous.
Yeah, Max Wilson there was just caught. It was kind of almost a head-to-head collision that wasn't, if you will. Referee Mr. Scott Henry happy to give free kick in Chorley's favour. And Andy Priest, in deep conversation with the fourth official at the moment, doesn't look best pleased how the game is being managed. Blakeman, just past halfway, will deliver the ball towards the penalty area, headed away by Rutledge, back in by Nolan, and Tom Kemp gets up nicely. Ibbotson takes a touch. Back towards Nolan inside the area. Goes for goal. What a save. And that's a real good effort that time from Joe Nolan. Mentioned earlier, he's only scored one goal in over 100 appearances for Chorley. You have to go back a couple of years to his game at Boston United. But Joe there, very close to getting the opening goal, but for a great save by Jamieson.
Yeah, it was a really good shot on his weak foot as well, just forcing Jameson to tip it wide and over the bar. It gives the Magpies yet another chance here with the Adam Blakeman corner that he swings in.
Towards the head of Scott Wilson, and again, Chorley proving a real force to be reckoned with set pieces this afternoon. That's probably 4 or 5 opportunities and half chances that they've had, just haven't taken one yet.
Yeah, it just seems like a matter of it coming soon, really. It's been real dominant so far in the first 22 minutes here at Victory Park. It's again Pete Jameson taking his time with the goal kick. Have to see when the referee gives him a talking to sooner or later.
I mean, I always do find it interesting when teams will take, he's offside there, Powell, surely, plays it across the face to Cedric Main and Darlington open the scoring, but surely that's offside. What's he giving here? The referee wants to have a word with the linesman. Max Howell's put it across for Cedric Main on a plate, but it looked like a completely obvious offside to us all here in the commentary box, and I think most of Victory Park think the same, apart from the Darlington supporters behind the goal.
Yeah, it came from nothing really as well. Chorley had been dominant for most of the game, and it was just one break which looked to be an obvious offside, not given by the linesman. Free Magpies continue with Cedric Main tapping home, and the Magpies are behind him, Victory Park.
We'd have to see that one back, wouldn't we? "23 minutes gone, and all of a sudden, James Chorley staring down the barrel of being a goal behind when it looked like only one team was going to open the scoring, and it's tough to say because it looked to me almost like the players stopped because it was so sure that it was an offside.
It was Howells looked to be fair yard or few offside, but linesman, which was right next to him as well. Surely getting frustrated here with the referee and the linesman.
Yeah, the linesman on this near side to us, James, he's certainly getting a lot of flack. The linesman just told Harvey Smith, one of Chorley's substitutes, to sit down. Chorley not happy at this moment in time, and I can see why.
And with Darlington a goal up now, only give Jameson opportunities and reasons time wasted. He has.
Yeah, it's just a tough one to take that because it really did feel like Chorley were convinced. I mean, people often say, don't they, when there's an offside call or a shout for an offside, you can't stop. You have to carry on and you have to stick with it. Chorley didn't really do that in some ways. I mean, they did, but they didn't. The ball had to be finished off by Main, which it was under pressure, but Chorley will feel aggrieved as Kidderminster Harriers have just taken the lead against Scarborough.
So now on the right wings a throw in. Charlie's under a bit of pressure at the moment then, they'll have to see this out. The away support making noise in the Frank Powell stand. Hooked for by Rutledge, and Howell's there putting pressure on Blakeman, but does well to give it to Wilson, he'll come away.
South Shields have taken the lead away at Marine.
Aldrich playing dangerously in the main two. Rutledge to his left.
Main
still going.
looks to make a challenge in Main, then hits it hard, but well into the Frank Powell stand. Although, saying that, Darlington fans have taken a bit of encouragement from that in some ways.
Cedric Main's looking lively there, just putting pressure on Scott Wilson in particular. Chorley have to be aware because he's got a bit of pace behind him.
And the Darlington fans making all the noise at the minute in the Frank Powell stand behind the goal, and it's Matt Irwin's going to kick from. 28 minutes gone here. Controversy at the Grand Store Victory Park Stadium. Surely a goal to nil behind against our visitors Darlington. It was Cedric Main, the man I mentioned in the build-up to the game, who got the goal, but not without, as I mentioned, its controversy. Surely convinced there was an offside in the build-up.
Thought by Wilson, Iverson will chase it, but should go back to James in his box, and it does. Rolls out to Headley now on the right. Plays a long ball forward. We've got for a Chorley throw-in.
Ibbotson comes away with it. The ball's a little bit loose, and Malkovich is caught there. Has to be a booking for me, that. And it is a booking. Yellow card bingo pays off, and 29 minutes into the game, Ben Headley, the first player into the book for this afternoon. That challenge on Lalkovic was late, and for me, James, correctly so, a yellow card.
Yeah, certainly in the Princess matter. Lalkovic just getting his foot in front of the ball just before Headley. And yet again, another ball to swing in here. Interestingly, it'll be Lalkovic this time instead of Adam Blake on, so a right foot over in swinging the.
And of course, you've got Jack Moore, who can play the ball in as well from that angle. We saw it all earlier on. So Milan Lalkovic, the Slovak winger, half an hour on the clock. All the usual suspects in there, Blakeman and Moore have stayed back. Taken an awful long time to take the free kick because the referee's not content. Now he is, he blows, and Lalkovic swings it in towards the back stick, headed away by Rutledge. Lalkovic wins the ball back, he's nearly caught again, and Max Wilson tries to pick up pieces down the line towards Lalkovic and Ibbotson, but it will find neither out for a goal kick for Jameson. Again, Jameson puts the ball down, he rolls the ball around, and for me, James, I think the referee's got to have a word here because he's taking absolutely ages. I know it's not out of his hands, but it's taking ages. Ball swirls in the air in the wind. Rutledge tries to beat Nolan. McLaughlin puts the ball over the top for one for Ellis to chase. And has given the foul there off Cedric Main. James, I don't think that was a foul for me, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a soft decision for the referee. You take it.
I can see Cedric there shaking his head there, a bit in disbelief, like, well, I didn't really touch him. I didn't really have anywhere to go. It was just a small little battle for the ball, but Ellis, free kick nevertheless, headed away by Lees and towards the penalty area there from Darlington and Jameson. One way or another, he's got the ball back at his feet. Picks it up. Rutledge. Now McLaughlin, good challenge by O'Kane twice, in fact, but Darlington get a bit of the rub of the green. Ball comes away. Right-hand side, Howell's the target. Front-footed. Right-hand side edge of the D, puts it in the area towards Cedric Main, and Lalkovic needs to get rid of it. He does, and gets away with it, comes away with it. Rutledge tries to put a challenge in on him. Lalkovic eventually goes long.
Coming back from a pain there, puts Ellis under pressure. Able to get some more, thankfully.
Now Jack Moore's got the ball, plays it all the way over towards Tom Carr. He's got it, edge of the penalty area, left-hand side, 1v1 with Howells. Back to Lalkovic, who's still in the penalty area. Finds Blakeman, swings the ball in towards Ibbotson. Surely a level, and Harry Ibbotson has the leveller. It's a really bit of intricate play from Adam Blakeman. He opens the door, doesn't he? Swings it round, and Harry Ibbotson, Johnny on the spot at the back post. And after the miss last week at Chester, that will do his confidence a world of good. As I said to you in last week, persistence pays off for Harry. He never stops. He's getting better game by game, and deservedly so. Surely 33 minutes on the clock, back on terms.
Really good ball for Adam Blake, actually, because the box was quite crowded, but Harry Ibbotson was a few men around him, but managed just to out the ball to him, and Ibbotson almost scooped it past Jameson, kind of. So long ball forward again with Carr putting pressure on, but Jameson should play him, and he does. Momentum back with the Magpies now at Victory Park.
Yeah, deservedly so. In some ways, actually, watching that goal back, it looked at one point like he may have been offside himself. There wasn't really an appeal from Darlington, their players, has to be said. But I think it was more just the ball was so on the money and it was so well timed from Ibbotson, and the finish was really good. The ball in was really good. And now Chorley back on terms, back in the game.
Yeah, they've got to use this momentum now with 12 minutes to go until half time. They can't let Darlington retake control of the game, especially with the away support as vocal as they are.
Surely, I say credit to them. Obviously, the early exchanges were definitely the better side. Darlington grew into it, but it did feel like that. The goal from Darlington came a bit against the run of play, and surely an Andy Priest's side will probably feel like whether there's an offside in there or not for the opening goal, they'll feel like they're deservedly back on terms, and now are going in search for a second. Okay, inside the penalty area, has a shot, comes off from a Darling player, and behind for a corner, and surely continuing to press. 35 minutes gone here. Another corner for Chorley.
Yeah, Lalkovic instead of Blake.
Lalkovic swings it in towards the front post, not headed away just yet. Max Wilson there, and he eventually is penalised. Max. Darlington trying to take it away quickly. Tom Carr says no thanks. James, it feels like a game. We said before kickoff, didn't we, that these games with Chorley and Darlington, they always seem to provide gold and an entertainment, and the game being played at quite a quick tempo, quite direct, and quite exciting.
Yeah, I've seen Darlington playing quite attacking, especially down this right side with Main and Howells linking up quite well, so it's putting pressure on Chorley's defence, but they've certainly held their own up the front as well, with Ibbotson and Carr working well.
Yeah, Tom Allen down on the left-hand side. We haven't seen very much from him. He tries to swing the cross in, blocked away by Max Wilson. Darlington throwing, and over goes front man, target man, Rutledge to go and take what will presumably be a long throw. Just gives a little bit of a moment for the dust to settle. 37 minutes gone here. Harry Ibbotson pegging back. Cedric Main's opening goal. 8 minutes to go until half-time. Here comes a long throw from Rutledge. Headed away by Chorley. Lalkovic's shirt's being pulled, and he's come away with it nicely. Forced all the way back to Jameson, and Joe Nolan was furthest forward for Chorley trying to press. McLaughlin, formerly of York City, plays it into another man, formerly of York City, Cedric Main, and Blakeman has to be on hand there, clears away the danger, and then Jack Moore is beaten to it by Rutledge. As he tried to clear it, came off Rutledge, back in towards the penalty area, only as far as McLaughlin goes for goal, and it's... Matt Irwin was aware of it, James, but had to be alert and just wide.
Yeah, certainly good effort from McLaughlin, though. Had Irwin rushing across his goal, but in the end didn't trouble him too much.
No, and I think in some ways both teams won't even want to bother going in at half time. They'll just say, look, let's carry on, because the way that the game's being played, it's a really good game that if you were a neutral, I think, we said that last week at Chester, a really good game for the neutral and an advert for the National League North, and certainly hasn't disappointed so far. Irwin kicks long. Ibbotson tries to get in there, but ends up going back to a Darlington player. Bit of head tennis going on in here. Continues back and forward. Long ball over the top for Main to chase. Scott Wilson's there and kicks it against Cedric Main and wins a throw. Certainly becoming a bit more physical as well. Lots of battling between both sets of players. Ibbotson down the line versus Tom Platt. Keeps the ball in, gives it back to Tom Carr. Still going is Tom and does well. Plays.
Really good play down the right between O'Kane, Moore and Wilson. Wilson tries to skip past two Darlington players, but he can't quite come away with the ball. Ellis steps in though, searching forward. Still got the ball, Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis stayed forward there, as you mentioned, James. Did really well, kept the possession. Ball in from Jack Moore, dangerous. Rebounds there, Tom Carr takes a touch, still inside the area. It's just the ball died on him a little bit. There was no opportunity for him to shoot. Instead, back towards Blakeman inside the area, and Darlington scrambled the ball clear, and they'll probably feel like they was got away with one.
It's just as the ball fell to Tom Carr, he's almost facing the wrong way, couldn't turn his body around to get the shot away, and tried to make room for himself, but didn't come away with anything, sadly.
Apologies if you caught any of the fruity language behind us there. Supporters not happy with how long Jameson continues to take for his goal kicks. Ibbotson there just gives the ball away to Tom Allen over on that left-hand side. We've seen so much of the ball played on Chorley's left and Darlington's right. We haven't really seen much of Allen, as I mentioned earlier.
I think so far this first 40 minutes we've seen better link-up play between Tom Carr and Harry Ibbotson than maybe we've previously seen. I think the games a few weeks, months ago didn't really have that connection, but you can see it's starting to blossom really, and they've had a good showing this first half.
Yeah, I think again, as mentioned, Harry just seems to be getting better game on game. Does his world a good of confidence. His sixth goal for Chorley now in, I think, his 27th game for the club. And Andy Priest played it quite well with it. He's been with Chorley pretty much all season. You know, the game against Congleton, I think, was one of his first ones. Actually, no, he has been here all season, really. He made his debut on the opening day. His first goal was against Congleton, sorry. Ball into the box from Nolan. Bounces. Scott Wilson's in there. Three Chorley players after it. Tom Carr's got it. Lalkovic is offering an option short if he wants it. McLaughlin closest to Carr. Takes his time and Lalkovic will get it. I can't see the ball's in towards the penalty box. Kid's in the way, James. It's probably not wasn't. Ball comes in from the long throw, headed away by Rutledge. Larkovic is on the back of Howells. He's probably going to be penalised here. Shots for a handball, not given. Nolan tries to find Scott Wilson in the area. Darlington can't clear. Now they do. And only find Max Wilson. Chorley finishing the first half with a flourish here. Blakeman delivers a great ball. Headed away by McLaughlin. Does well there. Scott Wilson. Oof. Had to be careful with his studs up. Taylor O'Kane tries to come away with it. Good ball out wide. Larkovic, his touch is a bit loose. Swings the ball in towards Carr. Feel like it's an obvious plan from Chorley this, but they keep finding that almost that middle man, don't they? They keep finding that man at the sort of the middle of the penalty area who keeps heading it away, but
Chorley have done well there. Almost every time that Darlington win the ball back, the Magpies then force them back really well, either clearing it out for throw-in or interception and counter-attacking. They've done well to stop Darlington really getting an attack off quickly.
Good play again between the two front men. Larkovic back heels it towards Carr, just not quite the direction that he wanted. 44 minutes gone here at the Grand Store Victory Park Stadium. Remains Chorley 1, Darlington 1. Harry Ibbotson, the leveller. A great ball from Adam Blakeman, and been impressive, Blake, since he's come back in this afternoon. Ibbotson again trying to find Carr. He's being manhandled. Left-hand side for Darlington, who probably be content with a bit of possession, before half-time. Platt. Darlington feel like they've just taken the foot off the gas a little bit in terms of the intensity over the last 90 seconds or so, and probably feel like they need a little bit of that. Being under a lot of pressure from Chorley, and they're going to get another spell here. Carr, left-hand side found by Larkovic, edge of the penalty area. Plays it across the face, touches down. Taylor O'Kane scoops it up and held by Jameson. It's really impressive that from Tom Carr, and it would have been a real freak goal from Taylor O'Kane had he found the back of the net with that one.
Didn't really actually have much of a chance to get a shot. He went sliding in first to the Darlington man, and then somehow managed to scoop it up behind him, but it's easy for Jameson to claim.
Well, Mark Ellis just gone down there holding his face. Referee Scott Henry has stopped play. Tom Platt is arguing why is it stopped. Again, apologies for any language. We've got confirmation yet of how many minutes we're going to get. Fourth official, I think it's 2. 3. Three added at the end of the first half. Maybe a chance for Darlington as the wind continues to swirl around Chorley. Scott Wilson penalised for a challenge on Max Howells. The Darlington supporters are asking for Scott Wilson to be sent off. Cedric Main's getting involved. There's a bit of pushing and shoving, a bit of handbags. Wasn't really much in that for me. James, what was your view on that?
Didn't seem to be anywhere near as dangerous as the Darlington faithful are making out. Howells is still down there receiving treatment, but Scott Wilson's going to receive a yellow card and didn't really deserve much more than that.
I think he may have been booked there, not as a result of pressure per se, but the Darlington fans are not happy. The linesman awarded a free kick. The way that Howells went down and stayed down is going to earn him a yellow card, I think. Howells back up on his feet, having received some treatment. Maybe one more chance for Darlington, and he probably played about a minute and a half, 2 of the 3, but you'd imagine you're going to have another minute added on top of it, aren't you, James?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity here for McGowan, I think it is, to swing the ball in with his left foot free kick.
You've got to be alert. Two-man Warlarkovic and Max Wilson in it. Here comes the free kick. It's towards goal, and Irwin does well, stands tall and stands firm and wins it. Matt Irwin then stopped by Cedric Main, and you'll now get a free kick rather than a goal kick. And the game does feel like it has the potential to possibly boil over a bit here. Both teams playing at high intensity, a lot of physical battles, a lot of aerial duels. Both teams feel, I think, probably a little bit frustrated.
Long ball pumped forward by Ellis. Go back to James.
The wind is just getting stronger and stronger, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see how Chorley manage in the second half with the conditions, but same for both sides. Out of his hands, Jamieson long towards Rutledge, headed on by Ellis onto the back of Rutledge, and Darlington come away with it. Main finds outside towards McGowan. What a goal! Will McGowan has scored an absolute worldie for the Quakers right on the stroke of half-time. The slice of luck in the build-up of how it was headed by Ellis onto the back of Rutledge. Rutledge then found Main. Main rolled it away to McGowan, hit it first time sweetly. Curling shot over Matt Irwin, and the Quakers have the lead right on the stroke of half-time.
Yeah, the ball set up really nicely from McGowan. He just opened up his left foot and got a beauty of a finish.
Yeah, take nothing away from Darlington, and I think in some ways it took the bit of surprise from Matt Irwin. The ball swirled in the air, but the contact was right, the delivery was right, the accuracy was on point. And Steve Watson really showing much emotion after that went in, but he'll be certainly happy after that.
And both of Darlington's goals in this first half have come from nowhere, really. Apart from those 2 goals, they've not really had many opportunities at Matt Irwin's goal, compared to Chorley having numerous attacks. 2-1 at half time as both teams head back inside.
Yeah, and food for thought for both managers, you feel, James. It was an interesting call for the opening goal of Darlington's, and then obviously Ibbotson with a bit of quality from him and Blakeman to get back on terms, and then right on the stroke of half-time, Darlington take the lead. You know, they always say you don't want to concede right on the stroke of half-time, and that pretty much was the final kick of the half. And with that in mind, we'll be back very shortly. Go and grab a brew and a biscuit. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody, for the second half of today's game between Chorley and Darlington. Chorley, the goal behind at the break. Will McGowan with it in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. And Chorley, work to do, but James feels almost like, keep doing what you're doing, Chorley, it will come.
Yeah, the Magpies were the better side for most of the first half, but they're coming back out with a 1-goal deficit. But as you said, they just need to continue as they did in the first half, and hopefully this time round they can convert more of their chances.
Chorley kicking from left to right, where we are sat here in the commentary box. No change at the break for either side. And it certainly just feels like it's getting colder and colder and colder. I've got a cup of tea to my left, and it doesn't feel like it's doing anything at the moment. My fingers struggling to type. Ibbotson down the right. Flat closest to him. Tries to find Joe Nolan. Comes away. Max Wilson on the right. Pressure on him. 3 Darlington players coming towards him, and Darlington get the ball from him.
Tom Carr's just gone down with a knock there, to his head maybe. It's fine to continue though, and Jack Moore will take a throw in on the right. Goes back to him and back again. Bit of head tennis at the moment here. Challenge on Wilson, but he's penalised. Darlington free kick. Max Wilson seemed to get kicks in his left shoulder, but the referee's giving it the way of the opposition.
Max Wilson back up on his feet. He's received some treatment from Dan Tattersall, the physio. Darlington fans continuing to make all the noise over in that far right-hand corner of the stadium. "49 minutes gone here still. Chorley 1, Darlington 2. Darlington with an opportunity from a long throw, Aidan Rutledge. A front man over to take it. Here comes Rutledge, takes it short instead. A bit loose, swings it across with his right, comes off Tom Carr's leg. Back towards Darlington inside the penalty area. Half a shot comes in and cleared away. Lalkovic there with Howells on his back, pulls his shirt. Back to Irwin.
Ball forward by Scott Wilson though.
Bedford Town have taken the lead against Alfreton Town. Marine have equalised against league leaders South Shields, and Buxton have turned it round as well. Leading by a goal, 2 goals to 1 against Radcliffe. Jack Moore driving on, as you mentioned, Jim. He was trying to find Max Wilson, but not enough on the ball. Right-hand side, Blakeman take the throw. Here it comes in towards the penalty area. Scott Wilson looked like he was being pulled. It's fallen to Tom Carr eventually off a hand. No. Darlington scampered to try and clear it away. Jack Moore's delivery back towards Fox isn't great. Tom Carr's touch either isn't great, but Milan Lalkovic has got it left-hand side. Swings in a cross. It's into the hands of Jamieson, though.
Long kick from Jameson there. Finds Rutledge. Twisting past Max Wilson. Plays well to Main, but it's intercepted.
There comes Taylor O'Kane, opens his body up nicely, finds Ibbotson. Wants the 1-2, he gets it. Now comes, tries to find Tom Carr inside the penalty area, and it's good defending in the end from Toby Lees. Important defending, because Tom Carr was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, it looks to be a really well-placed ball from O'Kane at first, but just couldn't quite get to Carr, and Lees intercepted it. And counter from Darlington now, but he'll go out for a goal kick from Matt Irwin.
And Chorley looking to try and play positively here. Lalkovic down the left. Again, swings in the ball towards the back post. Max Wilson's there. Back towards Tom Carr, and he puts it over the bar, but he's offside anyway. Tom Carr was 6 yards out, but the flag up against him, and it wouldn't have mattered if he had to put it past Jamieson, because it was deemed to have been offside.
I think he'll be glad the flag has gone up for that though, because there's a massive chance gone missing again for Chorley. Once again, Pete Jameson taking his time with the goal kick. Oh, free
And he
kick.
certainly will do that, won't he? Especially when Darlington are ahead. Even more so. O'Kane against McGowan, wins it. Milan Lalkovic tries to put the ball long. It's Tom Carr who comes away with it well. He's under pressure. He's being pulled. Gets it over to Joe Nolan. Ibbotson towards the back post. Cross comes in from Nolan. Back post, Milan Lalkovic is there. Howells comes away with it. As far as Blakeman, he wins it right on the edge of the area. Taylor O'Kane puts it over the top towards Carr again. And Chorley are really knocking on the door here. Darlington having to sustain serious amounts of pressure.
Yeah, it's been quite an end-to-end start to the second half here.
Yeah, I think end-to-end's right. And Chorley having probably a little bit better of it. Probably a 65-35 in my view. Worksop Town have equalised against Macclesfield, and Kidderminster 2 goals to the good now against Scarborough. Also, Leamington, a goal in front against Curtin Ashton, who of course lost 8-0 to Telford last weekend, and Telford 2-0 up against Kings Lynn. So Telford and Kevin Wilkins, picked up where they left off. More first time ball towards Tom Carr, he plays it as well. First time towards Max Wilson. Cross comes in eventually. It looked like it was going to go out for a goal kick, but eventually Wilson did get the cross off, but only out behind for a goal kick.
The play from Lalkovic there to get away from Tom Platt.
Finds Carr nicely, teeing up inside the box. Ibbitson's there. O'Kane's on the edge. Left to Blake. He can swing it in towards Max Wilson. Back to Lalkovic again. Once again, Blakeman delivers the cross. Back post. Max Wilson's up highest, but heads it out for a goal kick. Approaching the hour mark here, James. And I suppose the question to you is, what do Chorley need to do to get themselves back in this game? It feels like they are in the game, but they need to get a goal, don't they?
Yeah, we've seen them look dangerous from set pieces, especially with Adam Blakeman delivering the ball in. So I think they've got to capitalise on those situations, but also make more opportunities on the ground, which we've not seen as much of so far.
Just walked past us, Cole Hall, who's continuing his recovery. Long throw from Blakeman towards Ellis inside the area. Back to Blakeman, who can swing across it first time. And referee Scott Henry judged that there was a foul in there and Chorley had been penalised. Can't quite make out who the Darlington player is. Down. He's just sent off Mark Ellis. I think he's just sent off Mark Ellis. He's had a word with the linesman, but what's gone on there? Mark Ellis been sent off, but what for? Has he made contact with the Darlington player inside the penalty area? One has to assume so. And after a lengthy delay, the referee pulled Mark Ellis over and said, I think the argument is that Ellis has caught a flailing arm into the face or the head of the Darlington player. And with that in mind, referee Scott Henry has decided to send him off.
Also mean a 3-game ban for Mark Ellis, most likely. Interesting to see what Chorley do here with replacing Mark Ellis. They've got Harvey Smith on the bench. I think it was Toby Lees who'd gone down, and after receiving treatment, he's making his way off the pitch now. So a lengthy stoppage in the game. Set to restart now.
Well, a real turning point. Toby Lees now okay all of a sudden to continue.
At the moment, it looks like Taylor O'Kane has taken Mark Ellis' place in the back line.
But, James, the opening game of the season, Chorley went down to 10 and went on to win the game, and you just never know, do you? Obviously, the odds are stacked against Chorley as we approach the hour mark. Bedford Town, 2 goals to the good against Alfreton Town.
Well done from Tom Kahn. Wilson brings it down.
Long ball from Blakeman towards the head of Carr.
Harvey Smith set to come on.
Be interesting to see how Andy Priest changes his shape. Does he go for an additional defender and drop one out of the front line, or does he drop one out of the midfield? Buxton have added a third.
Blakeman penalised there for a foul on the far side, and Smith now will come on.
Yeah, he's going to come on for Milan Lalkovic. 61 minutes gone here. Harvey Smith hasn't played for Chorley for quite some time. Thrown in at the deep end almost.
Looks like now it'll almost be a 4-3-2 formation with Chorley. The 3-man narrow midfield. O'Kane on the left, Nolan in the midfield, and Wilson on the right. Smith as well there to clear forwards towards Ibbotson. Carr's there to help him, but Darlington win it back. Headley plays it down to Howells on the right now. Ibbotson's there to put pressure back on the halfway line.
Forbes for the Quakers. Past halfway he goes, and Max Wilson's closest to him, and it's now Cedric Main, the goal scorer, finds Tom Allen. I just feel like at the minute, James Darlington was doing a better job of managing the game. They were in front. You know, they're in control. There are man advantages in there, and they've got all the cards at the minute, haven't they?
Yeah, surely certainly got a hard task ahead of them, but you won't put them out of it. They've always got a chance to get a point at least.
Milan Lalkovic has just come over to us, being substituted. Now here comes Max Howells down the right. He's been bright for the Quakers this afternoon. Overlapping run from Headley. The ball is poor though. And Matt Irwin will rush over to go and take the goal kick. The other ball just been kicked onto the field, which will delay him a little bit. You feel, James, it's just an element of frustration in the room. Obviously, Chorley have had the chances to get in front. They haven't. And now they find themselves a man down. And Jack Moore that time on Tom Allen has left a leg in, and I don't know if he's going to be booked, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Was a bit late. Jack Moore's gone off, and Gotten away from the referee, so I think he will escape a booking. Oxford City 1, AFC Fylde 0. All kinds of freak results going on so far this afternoon. Chorley still trailing here. Free kick put in to the area, headed on. Jack Moore trying to get in there and clear it away. Joe Nolan does clear it, but only as far as Darlington's 24. Ibbotson eventually then hoofs the ball long, and there's no one there for Chorley to be sort of in an advanced position to pick it up. Darlington can come again. Ball in towards Cedric Main. Max Wilson's there, tries to play it out for Tom Carr. One for him to chase down onto Lees.
Darlington just happy to eat the ball at the back curve, passing between the fence and goalkeeper James. Do go long in the end, and Smith heads away. Max Wilson battling now. Moore clears forward.
Nolan sandwiched between Darlington players. Ibbotson finds O'Kane, who's in an advanced area. He's got 3 or 4 Darlington players to beat. He's beaten 2. Still going. Taylor O'Kane finds Ibbotson. Puts it back across and can't get on the end of it. Nolan under pressure from McLaughlin. Free kick awarded. Alfreton Town have got 1 back against Bedford Town. So have Kings Lynn 1 back against Telford. Peterborough Sports 2, Chester 0. Bill Brown's silky creamy trousers continue. Run rampant at Pims Park. Blakeman here over the free kick. Probably out of shooting range. He's going to go for goal himself. And Jameson was scampering over to his left, but holds on. Darlington can come away with it. Down the line goes Allen. Inside to Main, but his touch is poor. Now comes Ibbotson versus McLaughlin. Tries to find Tom Carr, but can't. Harvey Smith, who recently came on, hits the ball long again towards Ibbotson. Tries to get on the end of it. McLaughlin, the experienced midfielder, beats him to it. Nolan finds the referee. Eventually, after all that, gives Chorley a free kick for the foul on Joe Nolan. Moore plays the ball long, high, looping, headed away by McLaughlin. Ireland's got a foot race to try and keep the ball in. He's done well to get it. Jack Moore right on the halfway line again. Diagonal this time towards Scott Wilson. Touches a little bit loose. Finds O'Kane though. Chorley like trying to go from left to right. Wilson. That's Max Wilson. Plays a good ball. It's deep. It's over towards Carr, but Jameson claims it. Clock ticking on here. 68.5 minutes gone. Still Chorley 1, Darlington 2. All out of play, and Darlington throw. Andy Priest has rolled the dice once with Harvey Smith. He hasn't yet looked to his bench again. Would you be looking at that way shortly, James?
Yeah, options like Jack Griffith, Swan Clark on the bench, Angela Papula as well. I think Chorley do need a change. Have not managed to muster much.
Although you would say Tuesday round the corner, a long tough Tuesday night trip in the freezing cold over to Derbyshire to play Alfred Town. Jack Moore clearly tripped there, and Oren Willis behind us says, how was that not a foul? I would certainly echo that statement. In comes the ball on his far. Tom Allen blocked away by Moore. Chance there for Darlington. Not yet cleared. It is now. Cedric Main over on the left. Ibbetson's the man closest to him. He's going to try and beat him. The Bradford City loanee does come away with it and clears it as well. Only as far as McLaughlin. Main now. Edge of the area, comes inside, plays it to the edge. McLaughlin's going to go for it, closer to a throw than the goal. Darlington still have it. Pushing for a third. Howells. Right hand side. Can he deliver? A good delivery inside towards Rutledge. Falls kindly towards the Darlington player, and eventually Max Wilson just puts his foot through it. And Chorley try and push themselves up. It's all kind of a bit quiet, hasn't it, in the Victory Park Stadium here, James? Even the Darlington supporters are having a bit of a lull at the minute, maybe a little bit of a breather because temperatures are cold, but the sting and the intensity of the game feels like it's kind of gone at the moment, doesn't it?
It's less than 20 minutes left now. I think Chorley needs the crowd to lift up to spur them on ahead.
Well, that's it. I think in this situation, you probably take a point. You definitely take a point being a goal behind. Well, man down. Oh, that's a really, really late challenge. The foot is high, and they're shouting that should be a red card against Jack Moore. The boot was really high. I'd be surprised if it was a red, to be honest. But his boot was really, really high. He went up for it, more committed to the challenge, and he was caught really high. And the referee's out and a good look at Jack Moore and having a look at how high it did hit him. I think you're looking at minimum yellow. Nothing. No booking given. I'm surprised. I thought with how high the boot was, he would at least have gotten a yellow card, but nothing given by the referee in the end. Taking the free kick quickly. Tom Carr in a goal. Tom Carr! It's straight at Pete Jameson. Tom Carr beat the offside trap. Blakeman's delivery was good. That is a big chance, James, that's gone begging.
He had almost anywhere except there to shoot and shot straight at James, and he put it a yard either side of him. He forced into a difficult save, but yeah, again, another brilliant opportunity goes begging for Chorley.
Yeah, there's a big chance that for Tom. It almost feels a little bit similar to the one that he had against AFC Fylde on Boxing Day. Ewan, to my right, is scratching his head there. I think probably feeling the same. Ewan, give us a nod, yeah. Tough to take that in some ways. You feel like Tom, if he's having a bit of a purple patch in terms of his goal scoring, he probably puts that one away. And recently, it's not really falling for Tom. Having said that, it's not falling for Chester today. We're 3-0 down against Peterborough Sports. Ball comes in from Darlington, half cleared as far as McGowan, the goal scorer, goes to Headley. Burnley have taken the lead against Tottenham Hotspurs. Darlington come back in towards the penalty area again. Shot comes in from McGowan, deflects and into Matt Irwin's grateful hands. Matty decides to throw it out to Blakeman instead. And James on Blakeman, I think he's made a real difference today. Tom Carr, edge of the area, left-hand side, still going. He tries to get through 2 or 3 players. If it goes out, I think it's a corner. It is a corner. Corner to Chorley. The Darlington player was convinced it wasn't. Tom Carr was convinced it was. Let him do his thing, and Chorley have a corner. "15 minutes of the game left to go, James, and you feel that, especially after that first half, of how many chances there were. Surely you've got to take this one.
Yeah, there are plenty of set piece in the first half. Failed to make them pay.
Blakeman outswing it. Wilson's the target. He's free. He's caught inside the penalty area. Shouts for a penalty, not given. In comes Blakeman again. He has the beating of his man. Inside the penalty area he travels. Goes to try and find Taylor O'Kane. It's Max Wilson who comes away with it. It's a 3-on-2. Max Wilson against Max Howells. Wilbergowan on the counter for Darlington. From one end to the other, and Chorley eventually thump it clear, but only as far as Tom Allen. It's end-to-end stuff here in Chorley. Allen tries to cross the ball. It's blocked by Max Wilson at the expense of a Darlington corner, and from one end to the other in about 35 seconds, there comes the intensity back.
It was better from Chorley, though, getting further the pitch than normal. Helicopter goes above Victory Park.
The air ambulance, I think. In comes ball off the face of McLaughlin, touches it down, beats Nolan. Cross comes in, held by Irwin. Shaquille Colthurst has a hat-trick against Chester in that game. Three goals to nil to Phil Brown and his silky cream trousers. Ibbotson comes forward, he's caught, cynical from Max Howells, and I think he has to be booked for that. No card again from Scott Henry. Again, another one I feel like, for me, be a booking, but not interested in the referee in that one. Wind's blowing so strongly, it's blowing my paper plastic cup. Substitution for Darlington, 26. Callum Griffith is going to come on in place of Max Howells, who's just made that foul. So free kick eventually is going to come in and very shortly. Referee just not allowing it to be taken yet. Following the substitution. Blakeman over, swings it in deep, straight at Jameson. Long ball over the top for Main to try and get onto, can't get on the end of it. Tom Carr trying to chase the ball. Long, can't. Tom Allen, left-hand side, he's really come alive in this second half. Showed plenty of pace, promise and energy as Darlington just trying to manage the game now. There's about 10 and a half minutes left.
It's tough for Tom Carr and Harry Ibbotson.
Darlington,
I'm not got much support from.
Darlington just sort of trying to play it around the back at the minute, take a bit of a breather, have a minute to themselves, try and manage that game, and then eventually they play the piercing long diagonal, which evades everyone and will be a Chorley throw.
throwing from more. It was some challenges. It was par. No one's in. Max Wilson heads forwards. It was some challenges again. It's won by Darlington there.
Max Wilson does well there, and what? Can't believe that. It looked like he'd won the throw-in for Chorley, but referee's giving it the other way.
Attack now from Darlington in a good position.
Shot comes in, it's just wide, and that would have been it. Rutledge, it was, and his head is in his hands, and he's absolutely furious with himself there. 81 minutes gone, and it really should have been it there for Chorley. Put wide by Rutledge.
Long ball forward towards Tom Carr. Can't win it there. Forge kicks out maybe through the Jack Howard on his right side. Goes short to Everton. Tries to go back to the ball. Goes out and be another throw in for the Magpies there.
Substitution for Darlington as well.
Seems like Warren Clark's going on as well. So.
Warren. Wonder if it'll be for someone in midfield, maybe Joe Nolan. Alice Stanton's going to come on in place of Tom Platt, who's been recovering from injury for quite some time. So
Tom Walker as well, also coming on.
Tom Walker as well. 2 changes for Andy Priest. O'Kane coming off. And Tom Carr as well coming off. So Tom Walker and Warren Clark enter the fray. Clark will probably go into the middle of midfield and Walker offer a wide option.
First one on Blakeman. Not quite cleared. Blakeman to cross it back into the back post.
Penalty area.
Ball came back to the Blakeman, but he skewed shot wide, so it'll be goal kick for Darlington. Time seemingly running out for the Magpies. 7 minutes left. Short goal kick from Darlington. Back to keep the ball in their own half.
Forbes plays it back to Jameson under the pressure from Ibbotson. It's headed coming towards us and very nearly takes out a kid who was too busy playing on his phone. Ball's been thrown onto the pitch. Buxton 4-1 up away at Radcliffe, who Radcliffe were 1-0 up in that game. So Ty Sodgy putting pressure on Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley, who've been in great form of late. Great ball from Blakeman, finds Ibbotson. Moore and Max Wilson are there. Wilson will get it, swings the ball over towards Warren Clark and Ibbotson. Hooked high on as far as Tom Allen. The ball's played long over towards Cedric Main. It's out of play. Because Ashton have equalised against Leamington. Oh, loose touch there from Tom Allen. Jack Moore's been niggled at and retains possession. Max Wilson trying to put Tom Allen under pressure.
Seems like Darlington takes more time out of the game as Jameson's he makes his way forward, free kick.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And it's just sort of playing into their hands a little bit. And one thing Steve Watson mentioned in his pre-match interview was how his side are much better now than what they were on the opening day, which is kind of a given. But on the opening day, they didn't manage the game well, fell from it. Here, they've got a man advantage and they are managing the game much better while they're in the lead. Oh, and the ball just bobbled up there. It nearly went over Matt Irwin's head from Jameson, of all people. Chorley come away with it, though, and Jack Moore plays the ball over the top towards Tom Walker. Tottenham have just made it 2 apiece against Burnley. I think we're being kept in the game a lot by Martin Dubravka, who's made 9 saves. The ball from Blakeman finds Ibbotson. Again, clattered from the Darlington play, and the free kick is eventually given. Harry Wilson's just scored for Fulham. From a free kick of all things as well. Harry Wilson, the Welshman. Jack Griffiths has been readied as well to come on with about 5 minutes to go. Ball in from Blakeman towards Harvey Smith. He flicks it on, but only as far as Jameson. Few supporters headed for the exit, James, and does it feel a little bit like the game's out of Chorley's reach now?
Yeah, 3 minutes to go. Ball into the box from Darlington.
I suppose it's not over until it's over, is it? But surely all to do with 4.5 minutes plus stoppages to play ball in towards the penalty area. Rutledge was there waiting, just a bit too much zip on the ball. Jack Griffiths is now going to enter the fray. Going to come on in place of Max Wilson. Seymour headed for the exit, and I think they feel like despite Leamington have snatched it at the death against Curzon Ashton. 2-1 from Adam Walker. Still, it's not over till it's over for Chorley. Ibbotson, the pressure eventually a free kick is given. Send it.
Second half, surely for this free kick.
Lakeman delivers it. It's towards Tom Walker, who's at the back post. It won't find him with the wind. Jack Moore's got it under pressure. Jack Griffiths can't keep the ball in. And another reprieve for Darlington as remains Chorley 1, Darlington 2. Darlington will just be happy now to take the time. Andy Priest's arms out, stretched. Southport have scored in the 94th minute against Merthyr.
Gibson was happy with that decision.
6 added minutes here.
Chorley going free kick, but Harry Gibson wasn't happy with the referee. He just wanted a booking for the Darlington man. Tall for this time to take free kick.
6 additional minutes for Chorley here. Free kick taken quickly down the right towards Moore. Back to Walker. Opportunity here. Will he shoot? Will he? He will. And high and over the top. And in a way, James, does that sort of sum up Chorley's afternoon in front of goal?
Plenty of men going into the box. Decided to go for goal, and
Marine as well. Marine have stolen it against South Shields in the 92nd minute, so shocks are plenty this afternoon. Chesterfield have just fallen to a 2-1 defeat against rock bottom Newport County. James, I don't need to ask you about that game. Adding insult to injury, Chorley still trying to battle on it, trying to get something out of this game. Determined to try and get a point. Long ball again, headed away. Rutledge trying to get on to Scott Wilson. Wilson plays it down the line. Macclesfield have added a 4th and Buxton have added a 5th goal against Radcliffe. Goals are plenty in the National League North. We haven't seen a goal here in the second half, somewhat surprisingly. A lot of what's gone on today, you feel, has been almost muted a little bit by Mark Ellis' sending off. Feel like that was the killing moment for Chorley in this game. Since then, they've not really been able to properly recover. Get into it. Down from Irwin, long, headed up by Warren Clark. Joe Nolan then pokes it long forward towards Jack Griffiths. Off the arm of McLaughlin. Chorley have got a throw. It came off McLaughlin's arm. And Andy Priest says, Blakey, let Blakey take the throw. Blakey's going to come over and take that throw. 3 minutes left of the 6th. Here he comes, Blake's long towards the penalty area. Bit of pushing and shoving in there. Cedric Main's the only man who stayed up for Darlington. Jack Moore's under a bit of pressure. He thumps it long. The ball's over the top. Is it by Harry Ibbotson and he slices it? The flag's up anyway. Ibbotson, he put his foot through it, didn't he? And bit of a shot to nothing, but didn't come off.
Yeah, Chorley's best 2 chances in this half have both been given offside, but not actually converted either of them anyway, which is disappointing.
Darlington player, I think it's Tom Allen. But Jameson will take as long as he possibly can. This goal kick, about a minute and a half left for Chorley to try and somehow salvage it.
Darlington just taking their time with throwing just in front of the dugouts. Forbes who takes it. Griffith heads away. It's Wilson who heads back to Matt Irwin. Possibly one more chance here, Chorley to get the ball forwards. Irwin goes long.
And swirling high, it's nearly touched the moon, that one. Ibbotson tries to get it under, finds Warren Clark, who's up with Tom Walker. Warren's got it just about. He's over in a foot race with it. Still going, Warren Clark. He's done well since coming on. Warren Clark's got it. Finds Tom Walker. Chorley in a rush now to make something happen. In towards the penalty area goes Tom Walker's there. Goes down. Goes down. It looked like he was inside the area. The referee unmoved. I don't know what to think of that one, James. Everyone inside the ground was almost half screaming for a penalty, apart from Andy Priest and Chris Anderson.
I think similar to the one with Tom Carr in the first half, I think Tom Walker went down a bit too easily, maybe. A good shout, but wasn't surprised the referee didn't give it.
More awarded than man of the match by the match sponsors Onyx Construction this afternoon. And that will do it. Darlington come away with all 3 points this afternoon. Well, on a disappointing note, James, there was opportunities for Chorley in that game, but you do feel, don't you, that the moment that this game turned was Mark Ellis is sending off. From there, it was always an uphill battle for Chorley.
Yeah, I think through their missed chances from the first half, they had plenty of opportunities. Couldn't quite convert them apart from Harry Ibbetson's goal. But as you said, the sending off Mark Ellis really ended the game almost. It didn't really seem that competitive from then onwards, and Darlington were quite comfortably able to settle for the 2-1 win and take 3 points back with them to the North East.
Yeah, I think what I'd say with Darlington is what they did really well in that final sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, is they just managed the game really well. They had the lead. They didn't really give Chorley much of a sniff. You know, as I mentioned earlier, you know, in that opening game of the season, Darlington didn't manage it well. They let Chorley back in. They didn't give Chorley a sniff today, and that's probably why they are where they are in the table. They managed it really well, and credit to them. The match-winning goal was a fantastic one, and Chorley empty-handed tonight, but opportunity to turn it around quickly on Tuesday away at Alverton. And on that note, we will see you all back on Tuesday. Myself, James, you'll be there. Ewan will be there. The full Chorley clan. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.